welcome back to Life by Shauna. So I'm finally going to be sharing with you guys some stuff that doesn't have to do with like faith stuff, which I'm so glad the comments and the messages that you guys have sent in regard to that has been great. But today I'm going to share about something else. And so this is something I'm going to talk about nutrition and making homemade sauerkraut. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard that health begins in the gut. So there are a lot of things I do for my family, for their nutrition and my nutrition, that is focused around doing things for your gut health. And like I take supplements around that, I make food around that. That probably also is why I can still eat 4-layer cakes and still stay healthy. So another thing is a lot of people ask me about ways that they can provide better nutrition for their family on a budget. And I get it, like a lot of times trying to feed your family super healthy, a lot of times is a lot more expensive. For instance, one thing that I always try and do is the butter that I use. Like there's a lot of research and science behind getting butter that's like from cows that have been grass-fed only, and just the huge health impact that has on people's teeth and all sorts of things. And so, but you know, like you go and buy that, it's like twice as much. So there are a lot of things out there that are a lot more expensive. But today I'm going to share with you something that is really cheap to do, and it's not very difficult. So before I get started, I wanted to show a few things that I will be talking about later. So here is kombucha, my homemade kombucha. Right now it is in the second fermentation on my counter, and it's cold. I keep my house cool because, you know, heating costs in winter. So it's gonna take longer than it will in the summer, but that is fermenting right now. Kombucha is super cheap and very easy to make. Right now I have, this is all like in the last couple days, I made homemade bread. This is my sourdough bread that I cut up and I keep in a bag on the counter. I make a bunch of loaves at a time and freeze them, and then I always have like a loaf out that's sliced. So easy for the kids to go and get. And I know people are like, oh, bread, you know, but sourdough bread is so good for you if you make it right. So like a lot of times the sourdough bread you buy at the store is not going to have the cultures that you're wanting, but actually sourdough bread is great for your gut. It's actually lower in carbs. A lot of times people who are gluten-free can still eat homemade sourdough bread, and it's just wonderful. Great for your teeth. So today I'm going to talk to you about making sauerkraut. Here's my jar. Isn't that beautiful? So can you guys see it fine? I made, this is a half gallon size. I made 4 of these. So I made 2 gallons of worth. Was it yesterday? The day before. And so I just want to talk to you guys about how to make it, because it's super easy and cheap. Okay. These are all these things that I just showed you are cheap to do. And you know, sometimes they take a little more time, but really kombucha is not that big a deal. This sauerkraut to make 2 gallons worth took me maybe like a little over an hour. Not very long, people. So I'm just gonna tell you how to make it because it's super easy. I wish I had like the raw materials here just for a great visual, but so for 2 gallons, so for 4 of these, I got these jars at Walmart. Okay, they're just like normal canning jars. So for 4 of these, I use 3 heads of cabbage. So I did 2 green and 1 purple. And then I also did a bunch of carrots. Okay, this is not science. You just do as many carrots as what looks right, okay? I know, like, I would hate to hear that. Like, I wanna know. Like maybe a 5-pound bag, I don't know. You just, you know, this is the way I like it. Okay, see like the color variation there. I did this with my friend Kathleen. And you know, we did some of the carrots, and then I'm looking, I'm like, I think that needs more carrots. So we just did what looks right. It doesn't really matter. And then maybe about a 3-inch thing of ginger root, fresh ginger root. You want fresh ginger root. You just chop that up. For the carrots and cabbage, I brought out here right now, this is my food processor. It's a Bosch. I love it because I could do so many attachments to it. I've got a mixer for like cookies, mixes, you know, not box mixes, like things you have to mix. And then this is a separate attachment, but this, so anyone who has like a food processor, this is just gonna help it go faster. Okay, it's got these nice little blades, and that is what helped make it go faster. You can cut it by hand, it's not a big deal. People used to do it a long time ago. Or you can incorporate child labor. Or better known as, what we like to call it is life skills. Okay, important thing to teach your kids how to cook. So, and having them be able to make sauerkraut would be awesome. So anyways, you shred up a bunch of cabbage, carrots, your ginger, you mix it all up. I used like one of those big stock pots. One time, my friend Kathleen and I got together and we made an amazingly crazy huge amount because we didn't want to do it again for a while. And this is back when I had a refrigerator, an extra refrigerator in the garage, so I had the room to do it. But we made so much, and we mixed it in one of those like 5-gallon buckets, like just put our arms in, like mix it all up. And so, but this is fine. 2 gallons is plenty. It'll last you a long time. And it's manageable. And so after you mix it all up, cabbage, carrot, ginger, you're going to take maybe like 2 cups or so of that mixed up stuff, put it in a blender, blend it up with some water, some filtered water or something. It doesn't have to be filtered probably. Blend it up to where it's just like some extra water, you know, in there, some liquefied stuff. Now something that I did was I got, actually it was Kathleen's, got this packet that just provided some extra cultures. You could get it like at a health food store if you're from in the area. You get it at Mama Jean's. You can order online from Amazon. But it's like just extra cultures to kind of get it started quicker. It's not necessary, but we did it. So like after I mix all that stuff up, we put it in the blender, put this extra culture stuff in there, and then poured it on top and just mixed that all in. And then we just shoved it into these jars. So easy. And the thing you want to do is you don't want to leave a lot of air. So like as we're pushing it in, we're like taking our fist and like pounding it in, like compressing it. And then at the very top, you'll see this green at the top. That is so some of the outer shells of the cabbage that you tear off before you start chopping. We save those back, roll it up, and or you just kind of make like a little covering for the other stuff. You put that on top, seal it nicely, and then if it was in the summer, it'd probably be done in 3 to 7 days, sitting on the counter like mine is right now. Right now it's winter, so I will probably leave mine out for about 10 days. And then, so pretty easy. A couple things to keep in mind is, you know, organic stuff. Personally, I don't get everything organic. Oh man, I just looked at my hair. I don't get everything organic, but some things I do. For instance, the things that I feel like are really important, certain vegetables. So cabbage is one of those, especially if you're doing all this work to like make this like healthy fermented stuff. Get organic cabbage, get organic carrots. It's not that much difference, and it's gonna, you know, cabbage is one of those things you want to do organic. Certain things are. You know, other things that I always want to do organic is like chicken. Also because I make homemade chicken broth with all the bones. So, you know, so there's something like that. So get organic vegetables when you're going to do this. And a little funny story about this, and I'm going to wrap this baby up. I had made a bunch of this when my son, William, when I was pregnant with him, about to have him. So like, that's why we also made a ton, because I'm like, I'm going to have this baby and I don't want to make this for a long time. And so there was one jar that for whatever reason never got eaten. Never got ate. Anyways, it was like sitting in the back of the fridge, forgotten. And then it's like literally a year later, it's still back there. And I don't know why I didn't do something with it. Like, I don't know why I didn't take it out to test it. I don't know why I didn't throw it away. But it just sat there for years. And the kid's dad recently, like in the last year, did something, this health thing, and basically he needed to bring back probiotics and good gut stuff. And so they found that in the fridge. I'm like, I'm not sure I would be testing that. That is like 8 years old. And he got it out and it was still good. Okay, so the fermenting process, and actually it was probably even full of, I don't know, maybe even stronger. So anyways, it's great stuff. You can make it, once it's had its little fermenting process on the counter, stick it in the fridge. It's gonna be good. Put a little bit, eat a little every day. Just put a little bit, you can put with the sandwich. It's so fresh and so good for you. That's it. I hope you guys make some sauerkraut, and if you do, please let me know how it turned out and how your family's liking it. Thanks.